What's up, guys? It is Monday, June 17th, 2024, MMAOB Daily Podcast. I am your host, as always, Adam Martin. Join my co-host here, Mr. Big Marcel. We're going to be recapping UFC Vegas 93, which was just a terrible card. And honestly, I don't expect this podcast to go a full hour, guys. There's not enough to talk about, and the card just wasn't very good. And my picks weren't very good either. I mean, I went 6-5. It was probably my weakest effort, I think, in a while. The underdogs that I picked, only one of them came through, the other ones lost, and then some of the favorites that I wasn't sure about won. So just overall, just not a good card, Marcel. Like, from an entertainment point of view, man, it was just boring. And honestly, I felt like falling asleep at certain points. I was like, man, I'm just gonna fucking fall asleep and watch it tomorrow. I honestly felt like that, Marcel. I don't know about you, but I struggled to stay awake for this card.
I mean, first, these fucks, it's like they have a 3-hour frame for the prelims, and they don't start after 40 minutes. They start with the first prelim. I know you're on fucking ESPN, but at least tell the people you're not going to start with the prelims until the first 40 minutes, so I can skip that shit, We have seen all that already, The hardcore fans like us, we have seen all those clips already during fight week. We don't need another of those clips, That said, like a really slow card. It was fucking late, the card, the main card started at 10 p.m. Eastern time, I think, for you guys. For me, it was like 4 a.m. 4 a.m. for me, the main card. It was just like dragging, I don't say all fights were bad, but it was dragging. And then a very anticlimactic stuff in the main event for me. I think for most people, I mean, not that I don't want to see Taira win, but the way he won, I don't want to see Perez getting badly hurt like that. You know what I mean? So overall, man, the event sucked. There were maybe 2 or 3 good fights, but overall, it was already fucking late for a fight night at the Apex. They shouldn't do that, and that's the thing. That's the thing that always happens when they have these fight nights, which are like simulcasted at ESPN, ESPN Plus, ESPN2, ESPN Plus. They always are later, because if they're only on ESPN, they have it earlier, much better, because the Denver card, which coming up on July 13th, is also simulcasted on ESPN, so it's also 4 a.m. for me again, the main card, and it's not like that's like a super high end card. It's also like let's call that an Apex Plus card. It's a little bit better than an overall Apex card, but I feel like maybe I'm ranting a little bit too much. But UFC does too many events. I mean, I never expected me to say that, but they really are doing.
Dude, we're like the biggest fans, and we're the ones saying it now. Like, that Saturday's card was one of those ones that's very forgettable.
But it's week after week after week, the last couple of weeks, where we have like fights, the first 4 or 5 fights, 4 of the first 5 fights, they fucking suck, and I'm nothing against those fighters. I listen, man. I'm happy for them in the UFC. They're earning their money, I wish them all the best. But it gotta be a little bit more eventful, You see, after 3 minutes, a fight is going to a decision already, because not much is happening, and it's just overall. It would be much better if they do just a pay-per-view card, a fight night card, and do an Apex card. Do 3 events a month. Already decrease it a little bit more, or whatever you always say it, and it's just much better. How many cards do they do now? It's like 45 cards a year or something. Make it 36.
Well, I know you're saying that, but if anything, I think they're going to do even more cards. If I had to imagine, I think they'll add more. I mean, they're going to add, and then think about all these contender guys. They're going to be fighting soon. When does Contender Series start? Next month? Contender Series? August?
In August.
So you're going to have a bunch more fighters coming to the UFC. All right, let's get some comments.
Yeah, but
go ahead.
There should be more, in my opinion. There should be more focus on the quality, because
obviously.
Now there was I think that's the guy Eduard Vartanyan, who is like a beast. He's great. He's a Russian guy. He fought ACA. He's been champion in multiple organizations. They fucking offer him 10K plus 10K for the Contender Series. Fuck out of here, man.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. All right, let's get some comments now. Joe, what's up? Antoine, what's up, man? Knox, what's up, man? What's up, MAREX? It's a guy I used to work with at gambling.com. And he's not there anymore, but I always see him. I watch the MMA Junkie live stream. He's always in the live chat, MMA Junkie live stream, giving his bets out. So, hope all's well, brother. FG, what's up, man? Dynamic duo, good Monday. Yep. Appreciate that. Tristan, what's up, man? With all the injuries that happened at Greet events, absolutely. A lot of injuries lately, too. We'll get into that stuff, too, as well. Joseph, what's up, man? Adam, I know you didn't like the card, but do you think it was overshadowed by the Chimaev and McGregor situation? Yeah, I mean, everyone was talking about that. I got to be honest with you guys. you don't like if you cover the sport, you don't have to watch every card, but like I always think you should. I think a lot of the journalists that cover the card didn't watch this event. I mean, that's how I honestly think because I'm on Twitter. I see it seemed like
you
they
see
were
what I'm
watching
talking
boxing
about.
and stuff. Yeah, boxing and not really this card, and that's their choice. And honestly, if you're going to skip the card, this one wasn't a bad one to skip. But I also kind of think if it is your full time job, you probably should be watching, even if it's a bad card. So I don't know. It's one of those things, man. I don't blame them though because it was bad. Yeah, it was bad. What's up, Alex? We got Alex in the chat. What's going on, man? Glad to have you here. We got Gamblu in the chat. What's up, man? Glad to have you here. Glenn. We got some good people in the chat, which is crazy because this card was shit. Yet all the cool people are in the chat. Alex, if you want to join us, you can. I don't know if you want to just give your thoughts. You could, let me know. I don't know if you're around, but if you want, you can join us. I can send you the link.
Yeah, and it's like also I don't know if you heard that during the card before the first fight was even on. They said like, yeah, we have Pereira against Yuri 2 in T-Mobile Arena in 2 weeks, and they were actually supposed to be headlining the Perth card. Levy said. I was like, you. I tweeted it out. I was like, what the hell, you know? They were going to headline the Perth card, you know? I don't know, there were rumors, you know? But why would you put that fight on the main card on the main event over Dricus against Adesanya? It's crazy to me, you know? You have two fights which are main event worthy for a pay-per-view, and you put them on the pay-per-view together while you're already struggling to put on main events on pay-per-views, you know. And I understand. Listen, I always say have a backup, but have two title fights, but have one a little bit less than the top one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. By the way, Alex will join us. So just send him the link.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, cool. Send him the link, and we'll get Alex
Awesome.
in the chat. Might as well be entertaining because we're going to talk about this terrible card. We might as well have Alex here to help keep us entertained. Alex is a joker. Gertrude, what's up, man? Have you discussed 303 replacement? We haven't yet. We'll talk about that with Alex. Wait for Alex to get in because, to be honest with you, Alex knows a lot. I mean, I'll just say that. You know, if you are in the James Lynch Discord, then you know that Alex is giving us stuff a week before the UFC announces it, and we appreciate that. Although it looks like there's a mole in the thing.
Yeah, motherfucker. Yeah.
So, but Alex is the man. By the way, there's this question from Colostrum. Who do you think's better on the ground, Bo Nickel, Rodolfo Vieira? I mean, Bo Nickel will just control him. That's the thing. And Rodolfo will gas. Like that's what I think will happen.
Problem,
We saw the Anthony Hernandez fight. I don't see why it'd go any different. By the way, I don't think this fight's happening, right? It's been discussed, I believe. I think that's what Alex
it's definitely not done. Yeah.
Oh, and this is another comment I wanted to get. Barely any knockouts since they introduced the new gloves. I really don't know if it's a small sample size or if there's something to this because there really isn't any knockouts. Maybe the fights are just bad and they're not like
I don't know
striker kind of matchups where you'll get knockouts. But I mean, it's been rough, guys. It's been rough. We just want some violence. We're violent people. We want violence. We want blood. It's really bad when they have to broadcast on ESPN, not just ESPN Plus for sure. Oh man, it takes forever. Perez is literally the perfect place. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about 303.
I love Pereira and Prohaska for stepping in. You know, they saved the UFC big time, and they probably got
well.
Yeah, I just want to say I hope they got a big bag of money because they deserve it.
Especially Pereira. I mean, this guy He doesn't like. Man, he doesn't. I don't even think he need the money necessarily at this point because he's fighting so often. He's got to be raking in dough though right now, and not only that, but like
good for him,
dude. I mean, Marcel at this point, which is crazy. He's only been in the UFC for like 3 years. I think he's a Hall of Famer already, which is crazy to say.
Yeah, he will be for sure. Yeah.
It's crazy, right? But he's such a beast. Tatiana and Whaley, have you heard anything about that?
But I hope they do that. I love that one. Yeah.
Ortega and Lopez for sure. Did you send Alex the link, by the way? Did you send it to him?
No, that I had to. I didn't know I
thought you were going to. I'm waiting for you.
No, I will do now. I'll do now.
Okay, cool. Look, you think Alex Ankalaev beats Alex? Probably. I mean, I don't know where Ankalaev is at this point. Would they put Pereira and Izzy both on Perth? Probably. Listen, like I want to talk about 303. I do want to recap the card though quickly. The shitty card. And then we'll talk about the good stuff. Because if we don't talk about this card, we're not going to end up talking about it because we're just going to talk about 303, which I don't blame you guys, by the way, because this card was just terrible.
I sent it to him.
All right, cool. So you should join us in a second here. All right, I always ask you this, like out of 10, you give the card, and like usually, you know, even the bad cards will give. Here's Alex. Hey, there he is. Hey, Alex.
What's up, bro?
How's it going, man? We're just gonna give our rating out of this card. Honestly, Alex, I would give it like a 3 out of 10. This card was such bullshit. It was so bad, dude.
Yeah, bro. I mean, dog shit. Dog shit of I mean, well, yeah. I mean, I'll give it maybe 2 out of 10. But before we even start, I think like the consensus worst cards probably Aspen Ladd versus Norma Dumont, but like, can we compare this last card to that card just to kind of like figure out what's the worst, like literally what's the worst Apex card?
I think this one might be worse. I honestly think so. Like this was Alex. Like I was struggling to stay awake, man. You know, and I know it's a little bit later than usual, but I'm still like hyped for the fights generally. I was like, man, I might just go to sleep and watch it tomorrow. Like this is just boring. I'm looking at that card right now. I mean, that was a bad card though. It was
Alex,
really
Alex,
bad.
have you been a naughty boy again? I see somebody punch you.
No, it's just I'm fucking no. It's
oh, you're going for the power slap title, right?
yeah, of course, bro. I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Let's go through the card. So main event, Tatsuro Taira defeats
3, by the way, for me.
So
Adam.
So what is this card worse than the Dumont?
It's worse, apparently. He's going to watch the fight of the card now. He couldn't remember anymore, so he's going to watch it now.
I jumped out by accident. Okay, I'm looking at that card. I have it right here. Okay, so that card actually had 1, 2, 3, 5 finishes. I think this card had 4? I want to say
3.5.
Check. Was it 4 or was it 5-2? Let me see. 1, 2.
I think
4. So less finishes on this card. You also had Nate Landwehr and Ludovic Klein on that card, so that was a really good fight. You had Jim Miller on that card, Jim fucking Miller. You had Bruno Silva getting a knockout, Denat Bakary getting a knockout, and Ariane Carnelosi. There was no fight of the night in that card, so the fights that didn't end in a stoppage were pretty bad, I think. And then you had Norma Dumont and Aspen Ladd as your main event. I don't know, man, that's pretty bad. It's pretty fucking bad. Like I don't know, but this card was so fucking terrible. Like I don't know, man. I just didn't like this card. When was
that card?
That was in October 2021. And
yeah,
you know, a lot of fights on that card, I'm looking at Wikipedia, a lot of fights got canceled because of COVID too.
You know what's the difference, Adam? For that card, I didn't work yet for Eurosport, so I didn't have to watch that card passionately, and I could close my eyes sometimes. But this time, I have to watch it passionately, and I have to write about it. It's like, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that card was maybe a little better, Alex, which is crazy to say because like this is about the low point. I think this card was really bad. Let's just get into it though quickly. Like I said, main event: Tatsuro Taira defeats Alex Perez by injury. Got a bonus. How did he get a bonus? That's a joke. I mean, how did Weston Wilson not get a bonus? Like, come on, give him a bonus. He deserved it. He had the biggest upset of the night. A fight he was expected to get destroyed again. Gets an upset and looked amazing.
Got me first in the survivor pool.
Yeah, Marcel, you had him in your survivor pool. I think that should have been a bonus. But yeah, getting back to this fight just really quick, I'll get my thoughts and I want to get your guys' thoughts. But yeah, I mean, I thought Perez won the first round. I thought Perez looked good in the first round. And then I thought Taira, was turning it up a little bit in the second round, got that body triangle. Obviously, there was an injury there. Do you know, Marcel, how long he's going to be out for? Have you talked to him?
No, he has the MRI today, so I don't think he has it yet. I asked him like, let me know if you have anything, and of course I wish him the best, and he's like, yeah, it just sucks, and he did well, in the first round, I think he did very well. He even took Taira down once, and you get the thing like first takedown since 2020, Jordan Espinosa. Yeah, he did well. And then I hear Michael Bisping. He's like hyping up Taira. I wanted to put this knife in my neck when I hear that. So I was like, what the hell is he talking about? And Taira did well. He came back in the second round, although I thought it was still pretty even. And then he got that he climbed on his back, he went for the takedown, climb on his back, and he got the weight to one side. And man, that knee that looked nasty, dude. You never want to see. I hate stuff like how do you say that? Legiment stuff and that kind of stuff. Where I hate that stuff. Like when it goes too far. And man, I hope Perez has a quick recovery. Probably not, but I hope so. And for Taira, I mean, you can book him against pretty much everyone right now. He will probably get into the top 5 or top 6. Of the division. Yeah. So yeah.
What will you, Alex? Any quick thoughts on this fight?
I mean, so obviously I wasn't watching the broadcast, but when Bisping came in and was like, "Oh my God, Taira, that was the best performance," like you just like, bro, like what? Like Alex Perez clearly won that first round.
Yeah.
I mean, it's strange. It's so strange. I mean, and then everyone was just like, "Oh my God, Taira is that guy. Taira is a problem. Taira is gonna be. It's a few like, bro. How can you tell that? Like, it just everyone is so overreactionary about everything, you know."
Yeah. Alex, quick question: did Bisping sound like John McCarthy when Michael Page was fighting in Bellator?
1000%. It's like, yeah. I don't know. Like sometimes he's a good commentator, but sometimes he's dog shit, just like Dominic Cruz. Like I don't know. Like I'm just like really not liking their commentary nowadays.
No, I really like Bisping. I think he's good, but I think he had an off night personally. I mean, we did watch the broadcast. I don't know, Marcel. You were watching the Dutch broadcast with Marloes, or you?
Yeah,
or...
I watched it back the American one after it.
Yeah, they were really. It seemed like they were watching a different fight than what I was watching.
I mean, to be honest, he had to hype up this fight because the card was so dog shit, right? So like he had to be like a hype man, and I understand why that's why the PFL cards always hype their cards up. Like it's just part of the gig. They have to hype it up.
Sure.
For sure, brother. But I mean, we are not Stevie Wonder, you know. We have our own eyes, so it's like keep it a little bit real.
Yeah, 100%.
It just wasn't. It wasn't very good. But we got our boy Craig in the chat. Want to give him a shout out. Yeah, I mean, listen. At the end of the day, the guy got this hand raised. You know, regardless of if it was an injury or not, he might have ended up looking great. We don't really know. It's too bad that Perez got hurt. Regardless, you know, he's 6-0 now in the UFC, guys, and he's going to break into the top 5-6, like Marcel said. Some guys in the chat were speculating who he should fight. Makayev, I don't think they won't do that fight. Albazi, I don't know, maybe. I was thinking they might just do Moreno, like Bermir just said. I think Moreno makes sense because this is their new golden boy at 125. And Moreno, I love the guy, but he does look like he's on a bit of a decline, guys. So I could see that fight happening. What do you think?
I think there's 3 options. I think if Albazi, because I was hearing Albazi's healthy, but then now I'm hearing that he's like not completely healthy. So I don't know. Like I feel like that's the clear fight, but also like I like the Brandon Moreno fight. You know, you can squeeze some stuff off of that. Or there's Brandon Royval, who's basically wants to fight everybody. And if you fight Brandon Royval, like you're very close to a title shot, right? So I think the winner of Manel Kopp and Makayev are going to get the title shot. But who knows? You know. Yeah,
Perez was ranked 5th, so I'm assuming that Taira will take a spot in the rankings. But anyways, I think we've talked enough about this fight that ended in an injury. Co-main event. I mean, come on, this has got to be one of the worst co-main events
ever of all time, bro.
You know, this fight was just bad, and like again, the commentator were hyping it up like it was some like fight of the night barn burner. It was just a bad fight. There was maybe like 30 seconds in the 3rd round where they kind of went for it. I thought Miles Johns won the first 2 rounds, and I thought Douglas won the 3rd round. I didn't even care who won though. This fight was just boring. You have any thoughts, Alex? Quickly.
No, I don't. I'm honest.
Marcel, I'm assuming the same with you.
I mean, Miles Johns was landing the harder shots, you know, and I was kind of crazy that I saw on Twitter that a lot of people were thinking that Douglas Silva won the fight. You know, I was like, okay, I seen a different fight, but
I don't think so. I think the 3rd round he might have won because he was a little more aggressive. But
by the way, to reply to Antoine, would you guys say Taira's overrated now? We don't say he's overrated, you know, but I mean, I think he's very talented. I still think he can come very far in the division, but he's super young. Don't forget that, you know. And he fought. This was actually the first real test he fought, you know, in the UFC. This was the first guy in the rankings, a former title challenger, and he looked human against him. Let's put it that way. You know what I mean? So, is he overrated? I don't think I overrate him. I think I don't overrate him. I don't think Alex overrates him. Maybe the UFC overrates him a little bit, but he has a lot of potential. So I mean, you know.
I don't think he's overrated. I actually think he could be a champion. I really do. I think he's that good. But this fight particularly was not his best performance.
Yeah, and we did not learn anything about him. Like other than he has a chin because Perez hit him with a couple really good shots. He has slick grappling and he has good wrestling now because he took Alex down, right? So like we learned some stuff, but like we didn't learn a whole lot about him.
Yeah, I agree with that. We got Pato in the chat with Southern Man. Who would you guys match up Miles Johns with?
Adrian Yanez, run that back. Run it back.
Like that one, the rematch from LFA or LFA, right? Yeah.
Yep.
They could do that.
That's the fight to make, I think.
I'm good with that. I don't think Miles is ranked or Adrian's not ranked either, but maybe the winner would break into the top 15 again.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect fight because there's not. I mean, you could throw Adrian back in the rankings, but I think I think he needs one more fight outside the rankings, and it's a perfect fight.
I'm good with that. All right, next fight here. One of the better performances on the card, I think. Lucas Almeida just destroyed Timmy Kwamba, just beat the shit out of him for 2 rounds. Third round, Timmy won because he took him down, but at that point, Lucas was so far up on the scorecards it didn't matter. But they're only crediting with 1 knockdown because I counted 3 in the fight. This was a beatdown of epic proportions. What do you think, Alex? You were cage side for this, so what do you think of this guy's performance? He looked good, eh?
Yeah,
you're on mute. You're good. Yeah,
it was a great performance. I thought Timmy was going to win.
Me too.
I had no faith in Lucas Almeida after just his bad performances, and he just beat the shit out of Timmy, man. That's all it really was. Saved his job. And kind of just showed out. I mean, he honestly just styled on Timmy, right? Like I think Timmy had nothing for him other than wrestling.
Should have wrestled more earlier in the fight. Maybe he would have made it more competitive. I don't know. He got picked apart. Marcel, anything you want to say? Because I thought Lucas looked good, man.
I felt Timmy started well, man, the first 2 minutes. But the moment Lucas really came through and he knocked him down, it pretty much was over because Lucas landed the harder shots, and you saw every time Timmy tried to do something, he got touched pretty hard, So, good win for Lucas, man. I also picked Timmy in this one, so bad look on from bad breakdown for me here, but good win for Lucas. Was happy for the dude, He got two losses, 2 bad losses against Sabatini and against Andre Fili. So good for him. He's back on track. Plus, he had that the fight that fell through against William Gomi in Paris. So yeah,
that's true. A couple of comments really quick. Does this make Makhayev's win over Perez less impressive? I don't think Makhayev looked good in that fight at all. Really, I mean, Perez barely lost. I think that was a really close fight, and we're going to learn a lot in this cop fight. And to Bo versus Veer, Alex can answer that question. I think. Any truth?
Wait, what?
Bo and
Bo Vieira. It was kind of talked about. Vieira's hurt. He has like a injury. He has an injury, and he doesn't know if he can make it back by November. So,
is the UFC interested in that Bruno Ferreira fight? Do they like that one or no? They don't like it. No. They want to give him a grappler. It looks like instead.
I mean, I think that Bruno Ferreira wants to fight, and so. I think that's the only reason why his name is even in the conversation is because he wants to fight.
Bro, I don't even know why Bruno Ferreira called him out, man. I think it's a really bad idea, but hey, who am I?
Yeah. Well, if he wins, I mean, it gives him a lot of.
Yeah, it's a big if, man. I mean, you can put me against Francis Ngannou, but it's a really bad idea. But if I win, I'm not going to win.
True. All right. Next fight. I thought this actually was the fight of the night. Personally,
1,000%.
Defeat Garrett Armfield, 3rd round submission, back and forth fight. First round, Brady won. Second round, Garrett knocks him down. It looked like he dropped him. He woke back up on the second punch he landed. It was kind of crazy. And then obviously Brady gets the win in the 3rd round by submission. I thought this was the best fight in the card. The women's fight, we'll talk about that in a second, was a pretty good fight. But this fight, to me, was the clear fight of the night. And I think both guys should have got a bonus, personally. I'll let you start, Alex, because I know you're a fan of Garrett. Obviously, he's a fan-friendly guy. But Brady looked great, man. I mean, this was a really good fight. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a shame that they didn't get fight of the night. It's by far the best. It's like the highlight. Like I think this is the one thing that we'll look back and be like, oh, that fight was dope on that card.
Yeah.
Other than that, the card was dog shit. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the only good thing. And because dude, Brady was fucking hurt. Man, Garrett, and it's crazy. Like you put another referee in there. He could have stopped that fight 1,000%. But it just kind of shows like you have to like knock Brady out because if not, he's gonna come back. He's kind of like I was gonna say like a Tony Ferguson where like he just like keeps like a zombie. He just keeps coming back, and you have to put him out because he has heart. He has heart and he has cardio, and you can't beat that. So yeah, it sucks for Garrett because he was really close, but man, Brady did it. It was a fun fight.
Yeah, it was a great fight, Marcel. I know you like this one too.
Yeah, I fucking love the fight, and we pretty much knew it from before. Garrett Armfield, he was doing really well so far in the UFC after that debut loss he had, and with Brady, he got some of that comeback win against that Batgirl Dana guy, and he's just tough, He comes always back, and I really like the fight. I think Garrett showed a DM where he said that Brady said that he farted on him during the armbar or something. Pretty funny. But yeah, man, these two deserve the fight of the night bonus in my opinion. Because if you compare it to the women's fight was fun, but this was much more high level, in my opinion. So yeah, 100%.
Do they give like those extra bonuses, those locker room bonuses, Alex? Do they still do that or no?
Yeah, they do. They do.
So they
did with Reyes, right?
What Marcel? Sorry?
Did with Reyes last week, right? Dominic Reyes.
Oh, Reyes. Yeah, that was Dana White
think,
said he gave him a 50K bonus.
I think they gave him a bonus. But no, but like they still give him like
they'll still slip him envelope.
Somebody the Fire last night said that they sent him like an extra $9,000 just for
yeah. They still do that. That's good. That's really. I mean, the UFC makes so much money. Like it's crazy how much money they're making. But yeah, I thought this was probably like maybe the high point in the card. To be honest with you, Brady looked. I mean, they both look good, but Brady gets the win. Look great.
Oh, the Dumas against Hugh Yulin is off.
Why?
I don't know. Let's see what Cedricus says.
No way. Fuck. I like Cedricus a lot in that fight, to be honest with you.
Here, sorry to my fans and teams. The fight has been postponed because of VA and flight reasons. Stay tuned. We should have a soon date available soon. Hope we can.
To be honest with you, like I don't think that's a surprise. I mean, this guy is. It's not like his legal issues. Like
went out.
I was surprised when they booked him for this card. I was like, oh, he can get in a plane right now. Like, I want to see how high he was going to get before the fight. Like his last fight, he said he was stoned out of of his mind against.
He'd get his head cut off if he.
There you can't do drugs there. It's crazy.
No.
Yeah. No. All right, getting back to the card here. Asuyama Bayev defeats Jose Johnson. Yeah, I mean he looked good. Didn't get the finish, but Jose's a pretty tough matchup with that length at 125. I think Asu's good. It's just one of these things where he's going to have a hard time getting fights because he's just one of these guys that is so good at wrestling that people are going to try to avoid him, and he's not ranked, right? So I think he'll get a ranked guy. Maybe he'll get. I think is David Dvorak still the 15th ranked guy?
Give him Tim Elliott, man.
They could do that fight. Cody Durden, someone like that, someone at the bottom end of the top 15, anyone like that. Any quick thoughts on this one?
I want to ask you two guys. Do you guys know why Jose Johnson changed his nickname to Zaquarius, which was his actual name?
No
idea.
It was what was it before again? Lobo Solitario.
A lone soldier or something like that. Is that what it was? Yeah. Anyways, I think Asu. Yeah, he'll get a top 15 fight. Might as well really quickly just talk about the fight that got canceled, Tagir Ulanbekov against Josh Van, which I think
Alex, go ahead.
It was the best fight in the card, to be honest with you. It really was, and it got canceled at the last minute. Alex, you were there. What the fuck happened, man?
I mean, it's Tagir, bro. Like, I mean, his stock cannot be any lower. Honestly, like, it cannot. It is bottom of the barrel. His stock, like, it's like he turned down a main event, then gets matched up against this killer Josh Van, which was actually a horrible matchup for Josh Van. Whatever. So it was a very easable win for Tagir, and then he pull out, and then he pulls out and miss weight. Like you miss weight and then you pull out. Like, and it wasn't on Josh's side. Like Tagir turned the fight down. So
that's weird. And by the way, I'm looking at his record. He's pulled out of 5 fights in the UFC. He's only had 5 fights, so he's kind of a pull-out merchant. You sign to fight this guy, you don't know if the fight's going to happen. Unfortunately, he is a talented fighter, obviously, but I was really disappointed this fight got canceled. I thought it was going to be the best fight in the card. I was just curious to see how good Josh Van's takedown defense was, and if his submission defense improved from that one loss he had in Fury a couple years ago, Alex. Because he's so young, right? I think he's a guy that can get better like quickly, but we won't know now. Hopefully, they can book him quickly again. I don't know if you've heard anything about getting him back on a quick turnaround. No,
nothing. Yeah, it sucked. I mean, poor Josh Van. He's not. A lot of his fights have been canceled lately. The fight would have been really good because like Tagir's a tough matchup, and Josh is. The worst thing about Josh is his takedown offense and his wrestling. So like that was a really big test to see where he is and what we will never get to see it. So.
Do they still pay guys if they do make weight and they don't fight? Do they give them the show money or?
It depends. Because if they pay you, that means that's a fight on your contract.
I see.
So if you have one fight left and they pay you, there's a chance that they might not re-sign you. So that's why but if you need the money, they'll take it. So I don't know. I don't know if they pay Josh or not. I don't know. I really didn't want to hit him up because I know he was super disappointed.
Wait, who declined the fight though? Was Tagir declined the fight?
Tagir.
So he made weight and Josh said I'll fight you, and then he said I'm not fighting you.
Yeah, it was either that or the commission or the commission because I know like it was offered and it was someone on that side said no.
Okay, well, that's too bad. The work, man. Sure, they could do that too. Tagir and Alan Bayev, sure. I'm fine with that. Do you think Almayev could be top 5 flyweight? Maybe. His wrestling's really good. Maybe. We'll see. I mean, I don't know how well-rounded his game is. He's just wrestling, guys. What happens if the takedown gets stuffed and he has to fight in the feet? I don't know how good his stand-up is.
And he beat Jose Johnson, who's horrible at wrestling. It's like
he was willing to lie on his back and play in the guard, and that's not a great idea. Main card opener, Adam Fugit defeats Josh Quinlan. Split decision. I actually had Quinlan winning the fight. We did pick Fugit as the underdog, so we did get consensus dog right. But to be honest with you guys, I thought Quinlan won the first 2 rounds. I don't know. How'd you guys score it? I'll start with you, Alex. How'd you score it? Can't remember. It wasn't that good of a fight anyways.
I mean, honestly, I thought Fugit would. I don't know. It's like one of those like coin flip fights for me personally. I was just so disappointed because I thought one of those guys were going to get knocked the fuck out. So
yeah, me too. I had the fight ending aside distance.
It was just like really a violent fight, and it went to decision. So after that, I was like, yeah, this card is there's no hope for it.
No. Would you have Marcel to win?
Man, during that fight, I had to pee, so I had pain on my dick, but I wanted to watch. So I was like, I didn't really pay attention, but I think it was a close fight. I felt like Fugit won the 3rd round. I had Quinlan the first, and the second one was kind of a toss-up,
Yeah.
And I didn't really care about it, to be really mad about it, to be who won or who not. So I was I don't know for sure. You told me immediately in the Discord that you didn't like the scorecards because I was like, dude, why didn't you put out on X or on Twitter that we had the consensus dog here? And you're like, yeah, but I didn't agree with it. It's like, oh, okay.
I don't like bragging about it if I didn't agree with the scorecards, but you know what? Like, I'm looking at the stats right now. It does say Fugit outlanded Josh Quinlan. The problem was the first round I thought was clearly Quinlan, and then Chris Lee gave that to Fugit, which ended up being the deciding round. So yeah, I mean that's a little weird, but anyways, again, it could have went either way. Going to the prelims here, this fight was supposed to be violent and ended up being just anything but. Nate Maness defeats Jimmy Flick by unanimous decision. Just a terrible fight, terrible fight. Not impressed by either guy in this fight. Nate Maness did what he needed to do to win. He said that was the last fight in his contract. I guess they re-signed him. I mean, generally he's been a pretty good fighter in the UFC. This was just a weird fight. And Jimmy Flick, that's his 5th fight, so I guess he's on his 2nd contract. I guess he'll get another fight, but God, this fight was bad, guys. I don't know, Alex, anything?
Yeah, I mean, how do you not finish Jimmy Flick when you're like? I don't know.
Is this the first time he's been in the distance? It might be, right? I think it could be. I'm gonna double check.
I don't know. I don't
he ever lost by decision? Let me double check. I don't think he has. Okay, he's lost 2 decisions. What was the last time? He's been to 4. He's had 25 fights, went the scorecards 4 times. His last decision loss was in 2016, so 8 years ago. It's some guy named Tim Souza, which I've never heard of before, and King of the Cage. So
yeah, that just wasn't. I mean, like you could, bro. It looked like they were in 2 completely different weight classes too. So
yeah, Nate's huge for this weight class.
Yeah, so
I wasn't impressed by him in this fight, though, man. Like I thought, I expected more, kind of,
Yeah, 1,000%. Yeah, this fight sucked.
Anything, Marcel, or you're
this was as much of a fight of the night as 8 of the other fights on this card. So I mean, that's all I want to think.
All right, so the actual fight of the night: Gabriela Fernandez defeats Carly Judice, split decision, competitive fight. I'll be honest with you guys, I did pick Judice to win the fight, but I thought Gabriel won the first 2 rounds, so I gave her the decision, and the judges agreed. And the reason why I went with her, even though total strikes it went to Judice, but I thought the power shots and the damage went to Fernandez. That's why I thought she won the fight. So I'm good with this decision, even though I got the pick wrong. I would have been nice to get that underdog pick, Marcel, but it's okay. I think the right fighter won. So go ahead.
I know why Michael Chandler is proud. Gabriela Fernandez got the first win in the UFC. I mean, it was like, it was a fun fight to watch, and it was fight of the night until Aaron Field-Stand, in my opinion. But UFC, sometimes the UFC loves to be woke and give it to the women, So, I'm happy for them, that they got an extra 50K because they're both like, I don't think they are top earners or anything, so I'm happy for them. Was a good fight, it was one of the better fights on the card, but that says a lot probably,
Yeah, no, I agree. Next fight here. And by the way, do you agree with the bonus here? I mean, I think we both said that we wanted Stand to get in our field to get that bonus. But if they didn't give that, would you have rather they gave this fight night, or would you have rather they did 4 performance bonuses and went with Costa and Wilson instead?
Yeah.
1000%.
Yeah.
Like not giving Weston Wilson a
That's
bonus
crazy.
It's like just so
Why
stupid.
didn't they give Weston a bonus? Is because he has like 5 jobs? Because I heard his post-fight interview. This guy has like 5 different jobs. Like,
No,
I'm like, how does this guy have so many jobs?
It's because one of the matchmakers doesn't like him. So
oh really?
Really?
Okay, that makes sense.
That's from what I heard.
That's the only thing that I was thinking. I'm like, who did he piss off in the UFC office? Because that's the next fight here. Like, by far the biggest upset in the card. And I didn't really see it coming, although I did talk a little bit about the submission trials last week.
I bet that bitch, bro. I got paid.
Nice. Yeah. I was thinking, like, as the week went on, I was like, man, this guy's not that good to be like such a big favorite here. Like, just because the other guy's chain is bad doesn't mean he's going to get knocked out necessarily.
Adam, you should have known, man. Dude got finished by Anshul Jr.
I know. We overlooked this fight a little bit last week, I think.
I was kind of shocked. I watched your preview show. I was like,
we overlooked it for sure. And the reason why is because the guy got destroyed in his first 2 fights, right?
Look who you got destroyed.
Yeah.
I know. I overlooked it. Hey, this was to be honest with you, like, my picks have been good this year, but this was one of my weakest cards, and this fight was just I completely overlooked it. I didn't really think too much too high. I almost thought this was like a PFL fight. You don't even have to use your brain to think about who's going to win.
This was not even an LFA fight, to be honest.
By the way, he had Graham Boylan in his corner, right? Jika Saragi.
Yeah.
That's his manager.
Yeah.
First Graham Boylan versus Wonderboy. Let's book it. They're both the same age. They're about the same age too, I think. Melky Costa gets the submission, 3rd round submission. Again, not a high level fight really. Shea Lin landed 6 strikes in this fight. He was just laying and praying. I had it 1-1. I'm glad Costa won because it would have sucked to see this guy get the win by just laying on top of someone. In 2024, that style is kind of outdated now. If this is 2010, guys were winning fights like that all the time. It was crazy. Lay and pray style was very popular, right? But in this day and age, like, you just can't really do that anymore. They shouldn't reward guys for doing this, just laying on top of someone.
If you look to finish, I don't care, but he was just holding on, in my opinion, so it was just very
didn't land any ground and pound, nothing. Yeah. No
6 strikes or something,
6 significant strikes, 4 takedowns. He had a lot of control time. I think it was like 10 minutes, maybe. Let me double check. 6 minutes, actually. Yeah, Costa saved his job too, because I think he was going to get cut if he lost. I can say that about half the guys in this car. I swear to God, man. Like, if Fernandez lost, he probably would have been cut, Lucas Almeida would have been cut if he lost. Fugit would have been cut. Oh, I think Josh Cullen's going to get cut.
Normally, I'll do for every event, I do an article after the event, like what's next. Didn't even do it for this event because the only what's next interesting is for Taira on this event, to be really honest.
Maybe in He Stand too, I think.
Yeah, okay, but I
like him, man.
But listen, I like He Stand. He's great, but for the Dutch readers, He Stand not interesting. You know what I mean? So got to keep it interesting.
Well, how about this girl though, Josephine Knudsen in the first fight, the Swedish girl. This was a pretty good fight. It was an interesting fight. The scorecards are weird because I had it clearly first round Knudsen. The second round, I thought Pilastri won. The 3rd round, Knudsen won. That's all I had.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But all 3 of the judges had the first 2 rounds for Knudsen, the 3rd round for Pilastri. Kind of weird. I do think the right fighter won. Like, I definitely think Knudsen won, but the scorecards were odd. Any quick thoughts on this, Alex? Did you think this was a good fight? It was okay, right?
I just like watching Josephine fight for the most part.
She's a good striker, man. She's fun to watch.
Yeah, she's fun to watch. It's just she has 7 decision wins. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I know. She has no power at all.
So zero power. So it's gonna be hard to, like, she's not gonna go really far in the promotion. Why? Because, like, they don't. To be fair, a lot of strawweights don't finish fights, but, like, if you're that lacking power, who knows?
Alex, it didn't even give her a contract after the Dana White Contender Series.
1,000%. Yeah, 1,000%. That's just goes to show what they feel about her,
Mm-hmm.
So, but she's fun to watch.
Yeah,
she always brings it. She's intense, so I'm a fan.
Apparently, she has one. Okay, so she has 1 knockout of 8 wins. It's a low percentage, but she's definitely a high level striker. She landed a fucking axe kick. That was pretty nice.
She looked really good, definitely in the first round.
First round looked amazing, but she got tired. The takedown defense is a little off. I do think this girl's pretty good, though. She's young. She's only 28, but she has to work on that takedown defense because I think if you match her up with a good grappler with capable striking, she could lose. So she was one of my, like, I wouldn't say locks, but one of my best bets, I guess you could say. And I was kind of sweating a little bit, but she ended up getting the nod. So, yeah.
I give her the loser of Michelle Watterson, Gillian Robertson.
Yeah, you like that one? They could do that. She's
Yeah,
strawweight, so.
yeah. But I'm wrong weight class. This was strawweight as
No,
well, right?
no. Jillian dropped down. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
I
cool.
don't know, bro. Like there was two, like Judice and Quinlan. Like obviously Quinlan's probably gonna get cut, which sucks.
Yeah,
but
I know.
it's just another case where he was brought to the promotion way too early.
Yep.
5-1.
Danny Barlow fucked him up in the last fight.
Yeah, 1000%. And what sucks, dude, is he has elite grappling, but he doesn't show it whatsoever because he likes knocking people out. And he came to the UFC with 5-1. I just think that's too, bro. I was talking with Chris Curtis about this several times. You should not want to get to the UFC unless you have 10 fights. And I understand getting paid $600 fucking sucks, but like, look at Josh Quinlan, bro. He's leaving the promotion $36,000, and the chances of getting back to the UFC are not high, So like, I just feel like fighters really need to be thinking about this. Like, bro, like you don't want to be in the UFC learning on the job, man. Like it's like, look at Judy's 4 fights and she's in the UFC and she's already on a 2-fight losing streak. Like,
let's be honest, Alex. She also lost to Ernesta Carrasqueta.
Yes.
So why they could have given her how do you say the developmental contract or something?
1000%, bro. Like it's unfair. It's unfair to them, right? Like, I mean, to kind of play devil's advocate, and like I said the same thing about Chase Hooper. Like I feel like she should have went back to the regional scene, and he's developed a little bit, but it's a rare case, right? It's a very rare case because, man, learning on the job, getting to the UFC with 6 professional fights, fighting against the best fighters on the planet. It's not a good career decision in my opinion.
Oh, and anyways, we answered the question earlier about like would we give this card of 10? I said 3. Alex said 2, I think. Yeah. Marcel said
3.
3.
By the way,
it's generous.
Adesanya, smart guy, dude. He announces his own fight, and now pretty much Dana had to announce a fight which been signed like a trillion weeks already.
Yeah, we can talk about some of the other fights really quick. I want to get this comment. One was about Vartanian.
We talked about that actually.
Yeah, we turned it down. Here, I want to get your thoughts on this one though. Ariel Bisping beef. Anything, Alex? You have any thoughts about this?
I mean, it's Ariel wanting to be center of attention, but it's also like I watched his rant today. He has a good point, dude. Like Bisping is just being a bootlicker. He's being a Dana bootlicker, and he's making fun of Ariel for doing journalism, right? Like he's, everything Bisping was saying was wrong. You know what I'm saying? So like Bisping was wrong, but it's also like Ariel, like who gives a fuck what Michael Bisping thinks about you? Like, like who gives a shit? I guarantee you, like Ariel, like there was more than 13 people that knew what was going on with Conor, but we didn't want to say because it was like the UFC was trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. So like, I don't know. It's
fair enough.
It's also not really helping the case. You know what I mean? I understand that he wants to give updates and that kind of stuff, but it's like, there were more people who were in the know, and you knew also. I'm not going to say what, but you also knew stuff, and you're also not going to come out like this and that. It's like sometimes. Listen, we all knew that, for example, that DDP against Adesanya was a done deal. We all knew that, but why should we come out with it now? I did because Adesanya posted it, and I got this the other side as well. So why not?
But big it's fight, like,
100%. I mean. But I have nothing on that, Let people enjoy the way it's been announced. People love that when Dana goes to the how do you say that? What's up, everybody? And people love that stuff. So let them do that,
1000%. For big fights, I know the UFC is going to announce it. Dana's going to announce it. So like, why do I don't gain anything because when people don't remember who break news. That's the thing, bro. Like they're like, oh my god, you broke the news, and then fucking 25 minutes later they're like, who cares?
You know what it is, Alex? I actually, and it sounds really weird, but I actually enjoy it more to break like fights from maybe lesser known guys, because the UFC pretty much announces those like 2 weeks before the event, and they barely have any advertisement or whatever, and then when it's announced, they can actually talk about it. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Right.
By the way,
100%.
this is a funny comment from Glenn. He said, couldn't help but notice how many media didn't comment on Conor, considering he gets more clicks than anyone. UFC clearly told the media dick riders to keep quiet. I love it. It's so funny.
I can guarantee you Dana didn't say shit to me.
Fair enough. I don't know if you're a dick rider though. I don't know if he's calling you one. I don't think you qualify as a dick rider.
Maybe,
I mean,
I'm a pretty big UFC shill, but
you are, but I mean, to be frank, so are me and Marcel. We like the UFC too. It's the best
but
fight
it just
promotion
wasn't my bro. Dude, it was the biggest fight of the past several years. A Conor McGregor fight. It's by far the biggest. It's not my place to
Yeah. I get what you're
say
saying.
anything, bro. Like
it's the same thing all the time when somebody pulls out and somebody asks me like, do you know why? And I know it's an injury or what kind of injury, but it's not my place to say why, so I never do that.
I never really report on injuries because it's not my place to say anything.
Yeah. Let's quickly talk about what happened at 303. So Chandler came out with a video today. I don't know if you guys saw it. I did watch it. I mean, dude, I could have told this guy 2 years ago this fight was never going to happen. I don't think it's ever going to happen. I really don't. Alex, I know that I think you've kind of hinted they want to do it this Sphere. I think that's what they.
No, they won't happen. No, it won't happen at the Sphere. It will happen if they do book it. It's going to be in Vegas, and it'll be like in August. Like they will add another pay-per-view, or they'll add another one, or they'll do 3 in October, right? So they'll do, because I think what they're gonna try and keep everybody who bought tickets. They're gonna try and keep that, like keep them, be like, oh, keep your ticket. You can see them fight later on. Hopefully, I think that's what I mean.
Did you see that JT Lines guy? He tweeted out like he got either he could get a full refund, or he got a credit for a next event, or he got 45% off for this upcoming card 303 and keep his card.
See. So I think that's what they're hopefully banking on, is like they're like. But then again, Dan didn't come out and say this fight's going to be rebooked for another late time. So like, who knows? But to answer your question, I don't know, man. I think there's 2 clear fights for Conor that the UFC are kind of probably looking at. It's either him versus Chandler or him versus Max Holloway. And if they think Conor is going to fight maybe 3 more times in his entire career, let's be honest, he's probably fighting 3 more times. Do you book? Do you? What's the biggest fight they can make right now, right?
I don't know where you're going.
It's obviously Conor McGregor, Max Holloway. Like that's the biggest fight they can make.
Chandler's not getting this fight. Like, and it's in the video today. Finally, it kind of seemed like he was like, all right, I don't think this fight's out. Like, he didn't say it, but he's like, yeah, I don't know anymore. And I feel bad for him, but I think a lot of people are probably telling him like this fight's probably not going to happen. Man.
Listen, maybe I'm a bitch, but I don't. I mean. Dude, he literally. And listen, man, I have nothing against Michael Chandler. Wish him all the best. I was hoping for him. He got the fight, but man, he acted like he was some kind of Conor's bitch. Conor is saying something, and he's like, "Yeah, if Conor wants that," and Conor's saying, "Yeah, if Conor thinks that, yeah, it might gonna happen." It's like, come on, dude. You have been way much. How do you say that? Way too much of a big name, in my opinion, in MMA, to act like that humble to somebody. And I know Conor brings in the most money. Don't get me wrong. I understand. But it's like, it just doesn't suit him, It just doesn't suit him, in my opinion. Don't be that humble.
Yeah. I don't know. But then there's a side of me that I feel like the UFC, I feel like deep down they feel like they like owe Michael Chandler for like sitting out and wanting and like doing the tough and like being a company man, not saying shit during this. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm conflicted on it. If I was the UFC, I'd probably go Max versus Conor. That's the biggest fight they could do right now, especially because they just did that Diego Lopez Brian Ortega fight, which one of those winners can fight Ilya, like just to kind of fill a spot.
Right.
I don't know. It's going to be very interesting the next. I mean, maybe even Dana says something after 303, like it's going to be very interesting to see what they do.
Yeah, agree. Okay, let's get some comments here. What do you guys think is next for Justin? Maybe the Poirier trilogy?
Justin.
I don't know. Hard to say. Justin's going to take a year off. I think he already announced that. He needs to take some time off. That was a bad knockout. That was bad. I really don't know. I mean, he's a beast. To be honest, I could see him, maybe taking like kind of like one of those super fights at a different weight class. Maybe, I don't know.
Why we don't book the rematch against Charles Oliveira?
They could do that. It'd be nice to bring Nate Diaz back. I know you guys are in a lot, but Nate's a big name still, and I think these guys like Dustin Nate or Justin Nate, those are still big fights.
I'd rather have them bring back Nate than Nick. Let's be honest.
By the way, Alex, there were some rumors that they were going to bring the Masvidal Nate fight to the UFC. Was there any? No, it was bullshit.
No, it's fucking bull. That is
just make things up, eh?
that is a straight Instagram fucking. I want 50,000 likes post.
Oh God. Gaethje Gamrot. I don't think Gaethje's fighting time soon, man. And Gamrot, I would not take that fight if I was Gaethje. That'd be a bad fight.
Yeah, no.
Marcus says I don't think Conor McGregor fight in the UFC. Yeah, I don't think the fight's gonna happen either. But not with Chandler anyways. I think there's other fights that could happen instead.
Let's be honest, dude. You as a hardcore, Alex as a hardcore, me as a hardcore. This card is way better.
I like it. I like the new card because they actually added a fight. So there's 13 fights instead of 12. And to be honest, I think Alberg versus Smith's a more realistic fight than Jamal Hill because Jamal is still, the number one contender, I think, or maybe he's number 2 now. So I don't mind that fight. Yeah. The Lopez Ortega fight's great, and then the main event's a great rematch too. Like Pereira is amazing. I picked him in the first fight, but I think Geary could win this fight. Why couldn't he? It's a great fight.
No, it's a much better card. I think the sport is better when Conor's in it because
that spectacle of it, right?
1,000%. It's more eyeballs.
Yeah.
From a business side, it gets more clicks. There's more eyeballs on the website. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I really wanted to see, like, does Conor really bring that much more eyeballs, right? Like, that was like the test. Because, dude, since UFC 300, it has been fucking barren, bro.
Yeah.
It's so
they stacked that card so much, the other ones have suffered.
So, like, I was kind of like curious to see, like, does Conor really still bring that much weight to MMA, right?
They should go back to Canada for pay-per-view, man, because they never stack them, so it doesn't really show that.
Yeah, the one I was at was pretty bad. We'll say that it was one of the worst of the year. It was a better card.
If you look at the lineup and who they have available, Salt Lake City might be getting the fucking Canada treatment.
They're gonna get fucking Raquel Pennington as the main event with Kayla Harrison.
1,000%.
Oh God.
maybe not even Kayla Harrison. Maybe fucking Raquel Pennington and Juliana Pena.
Yeah.
Are you surprised Drake is open as Andrade versus Israel? Not surprised. I mean, like it's name value too, Marcus. It's not just who they think's going to win.
Mm-hmm.
I think that fight. I don't know who I'm going to pick in that fight. I think it's an interesting matchup. If Israel's not drinking and he's taking his fight camp seriously, he can come on there and win. He was drinking during his camp with Strickland. He got arrested for a DUI, did he not? So he wasn't taking it seriously. And he even came out and said, did he not say he had like a drinking problem and he's been battling that? Like. That can destroy your career,
Wasn't that Volkanovski?
Was it Volkanovski too? Maybe it was both of them. I don't know. Or maybe it was just Volk. I thought Israel said something too because Israel did get arrested. Did he not get arrested? Did Israel not get a ticket or not arrested? But he got a ticket, right?
DUI. It was DUI.
Yeah, he went to court and everything. So I just hope he's taking it seriously because he didn't think Strickland was going to be a hard fight, and it turned out to be a horrible matchup for him. So.
Also,
Breakus is a beast. He's a beast. Go ahead.
Listen, Adesanya, in my opinion, doesn't deserve this title shot. But I mean, the UFC wasn't going to let that fight slip for a second time. So it makes sense that
they couldn't miss out on it, right? They had to do it. So
because in my opinion, he already got the rematch for the fight he lost back then to Pereira because he was a longtime champion. Already got the rematch. Then he. Now he gets again a fight for a title. So,
and my mistake because I do think I mixed up Israel and Volkanovski, so that's my apologies. But yeah, he definitely. I'm looking right now, and he pleaded guilty of drunk driving, but he just got a ticket for it because he's a big name. I mean, they weren't going to send him to jail. A couple other comments. Israel and Arman. Yeah, that fight makes sense for Abu Dhabi, right? It should be.
I think it's gonna go to Madison Square Garden. I think they do John Jones and then Islam at MSG.
Both fights on the same card would be great. Yeah. What will UFC with Ankalaev? I don't know. Doesn't seem like they like him very much. Doesn't fight very much. I don't know. Not sure. UFC should come to Vancouver. They went last year. They can come back. I'm fine with that. Ankalaev should fight Alberg Smith winner for sure. Alex, are they still playing? Like I think you were telling us, Halifax, Canada. Are they still planning on doing that as a fight night this year, or do you think that's changed maybe, or?
They are going to Canada one time. It's changing. Like one day it's Halifax, one day it's Edmonton, one day it's.
Oh really? Edmonton? That'd be cool. Yeah. That makes sense too.
Yeah,
like a fight night card or a pay per view.
Fight night.
A fight night.
Where do you live again, Adam?
Toronto.
Just Alex, just say there was some randomly they're thinking about Toronto in the next week in the Discord.
Oh.
That goes crazy.
They're going to Toronto for a fight night, and the tickets are $5, bro.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. Oh yeah. I can't wait.
And it's going to be headlined by John Jones versus Francis Ngannou.
Oh, that'd be nice. Let's see if the mole gets that one and post it on Twitter. Blake, who do you like ask Kerr to fight? Probably someone ranked, right? I would imagine. I mean, the guy's good, right? So
I mean, it's tough. Like, I would like to have him just throw him against Peter Yan. There's that one, or you like
guy's saying Yadong because I know he was on the Dana White's list on the board, right?
That's a fucking fantastic fight, but I feel like that fight is like made for Japan or fucking Asia somewhere over there, bro. Like, it's just why do that? Why do that in Australia? You know.
From a business point of view, do you think UFC prefer Drakus or Israel rematch Strickland next? I don't think they really even want Strickland in the title picture. To be honest with you, we saw the fight in clip. They were like, "Well, Sean just made all these comments at the media day. The guy's just he's a good fighter, man. He brings eyeballs, but he's kind of like too much trouble for them. I would say." UFC go ahead.
I had to laugh so hard when I saw the UFC Inc. where they're going to come together to talk about Strickland in the media day. I think that was right after the Abus because they talked about Germany and that kind of stuff. So
yeah. He's like, Strickland's talking about women not voting again.
Yeah.
The guy's such a fucking dick. I love him though. BSD and Fiziev, yeah, I think that's Paris. I think I don't know if it's
That'd be fun.
Yeah, Darius Mocanio. Okay, I haven't heard about that, but that's a fun fight. That makes sense. Yeah, Felipe Lima. Excuse me. He's fighting Muhammad Naimov.
Dude, finally they sign a fucking good prospect
from Octagon too. Eh, dude. That's a great promotion. They're killing it over there.
Dude,
they gotta get you out there, Alex. They gotta get you fly out there, man.
Bro, I'll tell you this: if Octagon starts flying over American fighters,
yeah, and American journalists too.
I think they would have a really good case to be like number 2 over.
Dude, they're huge. NFL. I mean, they're selling up 50,000 seat arenas there, aren't they? Not like
1,000%.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, who's their best guy right now? Was it Lima? Was he their best guy?
No,
is it Carlos Vermola?
No, it's Lotus King. It's the African fighter.
Okay, to be honest, I'm not like completely.
He actually, hold on, let me get his name so I can fucking say this because actually the UFC tried to get him 3 times and he's turned down the UFC 3 times.
Yeah, no worries, but they have some good fighters, Yeah, I think Bambola used to fight in the UFC and he's been killing it there. He's their light heavyweight champion. Hatef Moyel Marcel is that the guy that was with Cindy Denois? Was that the guy? Or was that someone else? No,
there's someone else.
That's someone else. Okay. Yeah, I mean they got some decent fighters, man. The Felipe Lima was their top guy. Who was the guy you were talking about, Alex? Do you know?
No idea. Fuck. Hold on. Let me. Losine Kita.
The Belgium guy? Is that Marcel?
Yes.
He's good?
Dude. Good. Yeah. UFC tried to get him 2 times and he said no.
Okay, well,
yeah, because
enough.
They probably don't pay him enough, I actually was at his first fight in Belgium.
Oh, really?
It's actually, there's an interview online of it, but it's in Dutch because, he also talking Dutch. He's from Belgium. Good guy, man. Very good fighter.
He's got it. He's got the it factor.
Yeah, definitely, man. And he's also I think he's married to Miss Belgium as well. So yeah, good for him.
Damn, so he's winning in life too.
Yeah. If you guys been watching top, I did watch it. I kind of just skipped through the house stuff and watched the fights. The last fight was 10 seconds long. The Greek guy got destroyed. Wasn't too good. When's UFC coming to El Salvador? I don't know. Maybe they'll have to get in with that guy who does the Bitcoin, their president.
2020 or 2043.
There you go.
Main event, Ivan Menjivar.
Yeah. Main event for August 10th. Apex card, no idea, but I'm assuming you're going to that. That's why you're asking, Marcus. Have you been to a Las Vegas Aces game, Alex? Have you been?
I actually have not because no, I haven't.
They played the Mandalay Bay, I think, right? They played it.
I don't know where they play. I haven't. I should go because the tickets were so cheap. But
if what's her name, Caitlin Clark plays because she's such a big name right now.
She was in town. And the tickets.
She was there. Expensive. Oh, okay. It was busted. Yeah, the Caitlin Clark effect is.
I don't know, bro. I'm to the point where if I don't have to why go somewhere if I can just stay
at home and chill with your dog, man.
Yeah, 1000%.
You live by the Apex, right, Alex? You're close.
7 minutes away.
Like a walk or a drive?
Drive.
You don't drive though. You take an Uber, don't you?
No, I drive.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Alex, have any idea July 20th what they're going to do there on the Apex? Because I asked Verna and Amanda's side if they were maybe going to be main event, but they said just 3 rounds. So
yeah, no, I don't think that. I don't know what they're doing, and I think Sean Brady versus Gilbert Burns is going to headline an Apex event.
Yeah,
is it?
Yeah,
is it? Okay,
that's what I thought there as well. Yeah.
All right, we're at the hour mark right now, so I'm just gonna. I think it's a good time to end it. But I just want to say, Alex, and we always love having you on, dude.
Of course,
like, you always kill it, and we appreciate you, man. We have Weston Wilson's number one fan here in the flesh, so we always appreciate Alex. Anything else you wanted to say, Alex? Anything you wanted to quickly mention before you get out of here, man?
What do I have to mention? Nothing, but I love you guys. I
appreciate that, man. Thank you.
I love you guys. Bro, Marcel, come out to Vegas, dude. Come on. Face your fears and fly over here, dude.
Dude, Alex Perez offered to buy him a seat in the plane.
Dude.
Now, Marcel's going to need 2. We've talked about this. He's going to have to get 2 seats.
Face your fucking fears and fly over here, dude.
We got to go, Marcel.
Why you want me to have me there? You want to introduce me to Amy? What's that?
No, dude. I just want to give you a big hug and say what's up, dude. Come on. Hey,
Alex gave me a hug when I was there too, so he'll do it, man.
Ask Adam. I give really good hugs.
Alex was awesome. We actually watched 290 in the I don't know what to call it, the gondola, I think they call it, press box at the very top.
Press ledge.
Press whatever it is, and it was awesome, dude. And I remember we had a really good chat up there, man. We were watching the fights. And the UFC PR guys were awesome too, and we just chilled. Everyone's just there to have a good time, really. I mean, yeah, you're doing your job, but at the same time, like people aren't trying to be an asshole to you. You know what I mean? So
come on,
it was
Marcel.
a lot of fun. Man.
Come on. All right,
Marcel's got to get in the plane. All right, Alex.
I appreciate you on me there.
Yeah, we're gonna end this podcast. I'm gonna start a new one up. We'll do the Saudi Arabia preview. But yeah, thanks again, Alex. We appreciate it, man. All right.
Anytime.
Yeah, and for the viewers, I'm going to set up a new podcast just a minute here, guys. We're going to preview UFC Saudi Arabia. So just keep it going and stick around for a minute. And last question from Hype. What's UFC waiting to announce Kai? Maybe they'll announce it soon, like you said. All right, guys, just give me a minute. I'm going to set up the podcast for the preview. Give me a minute. Bye.